We're all familiar with that insufferable politician from New York who just constantly denies the results of the presidential election. That's right. Hillary Clinton is back.
Vladimir Putin has obviously your friend and mine.
Yes, indeed.
He has intervened in our election in the past.
Right.
It's not something, as you experienced firsthand, it's not something we talk about a lot. Do you fear that that is something that could be happening for 2024? And do you think we should be talking about it more?
Well, I think we should be talking about it more because I don't think, despite all of the, deniers, there's any doubt that he interfered in our election or that he has interfered in many ways in the internal affairs of other countries, funding political parties, funding, political candidates, buying off, government officials in different places. So that is his opus. His opus operandi in the sense that he hates democracy. He particularly hates the West, and he especially hates us. And he has determined that he can do two things simultaneously. He can try to continue to damage and divide us internally, and he's quite good at it. And sadly, he has a lot of apologists and enablers in our own country, people who either don't see the danger or dismiss it out of hand, or maybe agree with some of the, positions he's taken on certain things, including his barbaric invasion of Ukraine. And so dividing us and then trying to seize territory in such a brutal way to try to expand his reach, to try to restore the Russian Empire, if not the former Soviet Union, that is who he is. I said that for years. Part of the reason he worked so hard against me is because he didn't think that he wanted me in the White House. So we are where we are, and part of the challenge is to continue to explain to the American public that the kind of leader Putin is, this authoritarian dictator who literally kills his opposition, kills journalists, poisons people who disagree with him, invades other country, interferes with our election. That is part of the alternative we have to reject in this election. We have to reject authoritarianism. We have to reject a kind of creeping fascism almost of people who are really ready to turn over their thinking, their votes, to wannabe dictators, and we can't allow that to proceed. So I think it's fair to say that you have a tough job because you have to talk about what's happening in the news, but you also have to keep people's eyes on what's right behind the horizon. And I fear that the Russians have proved themselves to be quite adept at interfering, and if he has a chance, he'll do it again.
As if it wasn't enough that she created the fake Russian collusion narrative to explain her disastrous, humiliating defeat in 2016 to a complete and total political novice, that would be Donald Trump. She continues now to repeat this lie over and over and over again. Putin did it. Putin did it. Putin stole it. Putin's afraid of me. Putin doesn't want me to be president. Putin favored Trump over me because he's going to be so much easier on than it's just tiresome, isn't it? Hillary Clinton can't get over it, and I guess it's understandable. But what's frustrating is the double standard at play here. I mean, Donald Trump thinks that the last election got stolen from him. And when he mentions that, he gets indicted. But, Hillary Clinton has done a lot more than just whine and complain about that 2016 election, claiming that Putin actually stole it from her for Donald Trump. No, she actually put the wheels into motion that led to James Comey, the FBI director, starting an FBI investigation into then candidate Donald Trump and eventually President Donald Trump. That led to the Robert Mueller investigation. It led to the impeachment attempts. It was all a fraud. And it was all started by Hillary Clinton, one of the single bitterest, most destructive political forces of our lifetime. I used to say that Donald Trump's single greatest achievement was getting 3 Supreme Court justices to overturn Roe v. Wade. That was huge. But quite possibly the greatest achievement of his entire presidency was that election night when he kept this woman from ever being in the Oval Office.